miss it by much too. Up, and away for 6 more. Dre Russ, party's on. 23 off that. It's 145 without loss.
Andre Russell, 90 of 32 balls, the third highest individual score ever in the ADT10 in the final of the 2021 season. Danny Morrison, it doesn't get bigger or more important than this innings.
It doesn't, Carters, and I'm very disappointed though. He was on target to get the first 100 in T10. He really was. Mind you, so was TKC, Tom Kohler-Cadmore. He could have as well. But, you know, he got out and what have you. But he ran out of balls, did big Dre Russ. It just shows you what can be achieved when you get that snowball momentum thing happening. You just keep getting bigger and bigger and faster. And, yeah, extraordinary. And what a strategic move and a real sensible, great ploy to have him come and open. He just needed a bit more time in the tournament, perhaps even a little bit of a rest from the World Cup and all the cricket that's been going on for him in the last 2 years. So just to get into the tournament slowly and then build and peak nicely here, which was just simply stunning.
We see this a lot with West Indies cricketers, Danny. You know, they kind of are finishers, you know, at earlier parts of their careers, and then they go up to open the innings. We've seen it with a bunch of players. Do you think Dre Russ should be experimented more with top of the order?
I do, and we've seen that at different times, and I think it's a form thing, Carters. Certainly when he's played franchise stuff in the Indian Premier League, that can happen. He gets an opportunity there. And again, it was form. I think it was a few years ago there for KKR, and he was coming in early and being destructive. And again, that's the beauty, I think, people love of T10 or T20. It depends on the situation of the game where suddenly floating, he may just come up to number 3 because the openers have got off to a great start. And, okay, let's go, Dre, you're in, and just continue that momentum. The other thing we've got to stress as well, Carters, is that we know now in T10, even though it's new, the first 2 overs, the power play. Then you've got that batting, floating power play where you've got to take it between 3 and 9. You've got to take it between then. Often sides will take it. If they get off to a fly in the first 2 overs, bang, the third one often is. And that's why I think the strategy of having Dre Russ go in, open, and if they do get off, it might be the other guy, it might be Dre Russ. It only takes 3 or 4 balls, and suddenly if they disappear for 3 sixes on the trot, let's take that floating power play in over 3 and just continue that momentum.
Absolutely. And obviously this innings, along with TKC that you mentioned, Tom Kohler-Cadmore, they ensured that the Deccan Gladiators won their maiden ADT10 title. But I mean, for that team and for, you know, Dre Russ's performance, this is going to be a bit tough to equal or tough to top, right? I mean, this important innings in the title, in the championship game.
Yeah, it is tough. But again, that's the nature of the game. When you think about Timo Adabi, started so well and then fell away. And the Gladiators, they were a little bit scratchy at the start, showed glimpses at times. And then you're same with Bangla Tigers. They were scratchy, got better, and then fell off a bit at the thing. So I think it's an interesting dynamic of a very condensed tournament where you've got to get it right. You're picking of a side and balance. And to be fair too, Carters, you got to have your top class players clicking. They need to be doing the job. And then the other protagonists who maybe not such star quality may even in fact lift their game and are inspired by those great names that do great things. So that's what you look for in a team, particularly T10. Normally it's 10 days of T10 on the trot, bang, bang, bang. This was extended to 15. So it'll be fascinating to see what they do moving forward about how many days they go back to the 10 days on the trot, or maybe they make it 11 with a break in the middle and all that. So it's still, I think, it's still a tournament that's unfolding and developing.
Indeed. So Andre Russell, definitely a contender for, you know, an MVP of this format, of this tournament. He actually took a wicket in the match as well. But it was his awesome power hitting, 90 of 32 balls, that ensured that this remained a black moment.
Hurrah!